Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the virtual Sonoma Strong Healing Fair. Want to thank all of the practitioners and doctors who are donating their time to our fair and getting the word out about choices in alternative and holistic healthcare to our communities. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sherry Pedrioli, and I am the founder of Holistic Choices Incorporated. Holistic Choices Incorporated is a nonprofit organization that provides choices in alternative and holistic healthcare with projects such as Sonoma Strong Healing Fair. Hopefully we'll be back in person pretty soon. In the meantime, I'm so grateful that we can do these virtual online fairs. Some of the other projects are Choices, the book series, and Holistic Choices Network. As I mentioned, the company as a whole is a nonprofit organization now. So your donations allow us to continue providing education and free healing fairs for our community. So for more information on the nonprofit, you can go to the Sonoma Strong Healing Fair website, and there's a lot of information there for that. Real quick before we start, make sure that your audio stays muted. And if you have any questions for either the practitioner or myself or Diana, go ahead and put it in the chat. And your chat button is located at the bottom of the screen. And other than that, I am going to turn this over to our practitioner of the day, Ben Schwartz. Thank you again, Ben, for being here. And he is going to tell you a little bit about himself and what he's going to be doing. So thank you, Ben.
All right. Thanks, Sherry. So good morning. My name's Ben Schwartz, and I'm a psychotherapist and a coach and an EFT practitioner. And EFT is a meridian tapping technique that is somewhat related to acupuncture, because we're using acupressure points to relieve negative emotions and shift negative thinking, which I'll explain in a minute. And I've been doing that technique for quite a while now, about 13 years or so. And it's become very well known and very well researched in the field of trauma, especially emotional trauma. So it's a technique that works with your nervous system to neutralize the triggering effect of a negative thought. So, for example, a trauma is a memory of an intense event that never fully is out of your system. And so it stays in your subconscious or your conscious mind. And every time it gets triggered or you talk about it or you're reminded of it, it triggers the fight or flight reaction in your whole system. And in this technique, we provoke that a little bit while we're tapping, and then that's what neutralizes it and diminishes those thoughts and gets the feelings out and gets you in a nice, peaceful, calm, balanced state, mentally and physically. So it's really useful, and it's something you can do with a practitioner in some very deep, very specific ways that are tailored specifically to your history and whatever you've got going on. But there's also ways to use it like this that are a little quicker and easier and more general, but very useful, where you can tap as a group, or you can tap about just a present stressor or worry or fear and still get some good relief from that. And so that's mainly what, the way we're approaching it here as a group. That's the way, that's the only way to do it as a group, actually, since I can't get so specific with an individual this way. So I'll explain really briefly where the points are for anyone who's really new to this, because I know some of you have done this, but there may be some people that come in that haven't had exposure to it. So it's good to review anyway. There's a very verbal technique. So while we're going through the tapping. It's gently tapping on parts of your body, mostly up here, and a little on the hand. While we're doing that, we're always verbalizing something. You can say words in your mind if you're in a place where you can't speak out loud comfortably. It still will work, but it's even better if you can say words out loud. It gives a little more impact. I'll explain more in a moment, but the points themselves are pretty easy to learn. First, use all your fingers on one side of the hand, below the pinky, around the edge of the hand. And we'll be tapping here as we say an opening phrase, which we usually repeat at least a couple times. I'll give you the words to say, and you'll just say them back. And then we continue on to the top of the head. It's just the very top, but a little back from center. Usually you want to use at least 2 fingers, 2 is the usual, because then you get a good enough area when you're tapping and you won't miss the spot. And just 5 to 10 taps on each one. The beginning of the eyebrow, right on the brow ridge there. Doesn't matter which side. Sometimes you see people do both. That's just as good. It's not any better, but it's just a personal preference kind of thing. Corner of the eye, it's right behind the edge of this bone here, in front of the temple. So you're right on kind of the curve of that bone. Right under the eye, at the top of the cheekbone, right under the nose, the indentation of your chin, below the lip. The collarbone point is technically below the collarbone, so if you follow the line of your collarbone to that knobby part on either side and go down about 1 inch, it's right there where the first rib meets the sternum. If you forget that one, you can just take all your fingers and tap that area. That works too. And then the last one is under your arm, right on the side of your rib cage. For a woman, it's where the bra strap would be, or you can take your hand under your armpit and it's right below the hand. And that is what we call one round of tapping. And sometimes we'll continue a few times around before we stop. Take a deep breath, tune into the feeling or the thought that you had before and see if it's still a triggering thought. Usually it's less. And then sometimes we'll do some more and it'll get even less again. There are times when we tap and we're speaking out some pretty provocative things, negative kind of thoughts or feelings, and it might provoke even stronger feelings. So it's really important to know that if that happens, that is not a bad thing, and it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong, and it doesn't mean that this isn't working for you. It just means that you're uncovering something that really has some strong feeling in it, and now you're verbalizing it, and it's bringing it up more. And sometimes that happens at first. It's nothing to be afraid of. So when that happens, we just go back and we do another round or another and another. When I do a session with someone, I might do that for an hour, going back and doing more and more until it's all cleared out. So when you hear people tapping and saying positive phrases, that's really not the core technique of EFT. That's sort of an add-on. The real technique is about saying what the negative is, what the pain is, or what the negative traumatic memory is. And then sometimes we tack on some positive reframes after we do that, which will make more sense when we're doing it. I'm going to put plenty of positive phrases into our tapping today. So I think that's enough explanation. What I know right now from doing a few of these groups now and still doing some sessions with clients is that there's a big variety of fears and things that are coming up for people in this current situation of this pandemic. And I think some people are seeing some really positive side effects to this shift in lifestyle that's forcing them to change things and sometimes to just sit still and not do. And there's all sorts of great things about this that I see. but that's not to minimize the distress and the worry and the fear and all of that so many people are experiencing, because that's very real. And so the things that seem like the big ones that have been coming up for various people is the fear of getting sick, the fear of going out in public, the fear of going even to the grocery store is for some people a real strong fear. Just the fear of being vulnerable to getting sick, not trusting your own immune system or something is a big one for some people. The unknown, the fear of like, what's going to happen now? People that their business is in jeopardy and they don't know what the future is going to hold and if they're going to make it financially, and all of that stuff is huge for a lot of people. And I think those are the biggest, really. And then there's just the issue of feeling stir crazy for some people that are, very active doers, and being stuck in a small space at home, or stuck with people you normally would spend this amount of time with. We thought Thanksgiving was bad with relatives. Now we've got a 1 month or 2 months forced, contact with family that we might not see that much normally. So obviously it brings up lots of things. So I think I'll start with some tapping about the germophobia thing itself. I think that's just pretty universal for a lot of people. And, it's not about not using common sense or having, following the precautions that are advised. It's just that we don't need to also be afraid and have all this panic and anxiety around it. That's not helpful. And in fact, that's actually harder on your immune system. So that's the part we want to let go of. So let's just tap together. And as we do this, as we get into it, just take a moment first and think about what's the most triggering thought that you can bring up about this fear. And it might be a big one, big fear. It might be kind of small. It doesn't matter. For you personally, what brings up some of that fear of vulnerability to getting sick, or fear of going out to buy vegetables or whatever? Just tune into that or visualize that and allow yourself for a moment to feel the feeling of that. Notice if it's any kind of a physical sensation, anxiety in your body, tension somewhere, or it could just be a negative image, a fearful image of something happening. So just let yourself go there and see how strongly do you feel it. We often ask on a 1 to 10 scale, how big is this? If 10 was like total panic. Just gives us a baseline. And then tap along with me, tapping the side of the hand. And as you're tapping the hand, just say these words. Even though I have this fear, the world feels dangerous. Everybody's walking around looking paranoid. I'm afraid to get near anybody that I don't know. I'm afraid the store is full of germs and it feels dangerous. I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I feel so vulnerable going out in public, and I'm afraid to even go to the store. I'm afraid there's danger all around me, and I'm defenseless, and I feel that stress in my body. I deeply and completely accept myself, and I choose to trust my immune system. and my judgment. And top of the head. I'm afraid to go outside. Afraid to be around people. Feels dangerous just to go to the store. Feel like everything is contaminated. I feel that stress and fear in my body. I feel defenseless. I don't know what to do out there to feel safe. I feel this anxiety. Let's do one more round. I'd like to trust my immune system. I can wash my hands. I can avoid touching my face except when I'm doing EFT. I can use sensible precautions. I'm sending love and appreciation to my body. I appreciate that I have a good, strong immune system. I'm safe in this moment. I have a strong, healthy body. And take a deep breath. That's good. So just notice how you feel. Notice if your breathing changed, if you feel any more relaxed in your body. Again, if it brought up something more, that's okay. It's good to, it'd be good to let me know that, if you can put that in the chat or something, whether it was, you feel better or worse, because then I'll know where to go with it. Tingly, that's good. Yeah. So you can see the way I did it there was, and this is just, there's lots of options with how you tap really. But I like to do it this way, especially with groups, is basically one round or so of tapping out the negative thoughts and feelings. And then one round of mainly positive statements can feel good to do. But if we just lead it in, led into it with nothing but positives, it wouldn't be quite the same benefits. Peaceful feeling, great. Yeah. Okay. Feel lighter. Good. Good. And so, the other thing is, once you tap about something like this, so, a fear of something specific like we were doing, it's good to go back into your mind and visualize that thing again and see, like, it's a way of testing it out. And don't be afraid to do that, because when you've got a positive result from tapping and you go back and you visualize the thing, oftentimes it's you can't even find it, or you do, but it just feels truly neutral. And then you really know that you shifted something, and that feels even better. Whereas if you just kind of don't want to look at it and you just are, not sure, you might still feel better, but it's a little less complete, because you might still be afraid that that thought is lurking there when maybe it's not. So maybe just take a moment, think about whatever the thing was for you, or think about going to the store and just really feel your body, feel your feelings, and see if there's something that is still there. I did, just briefly, I'll just say this, I listened to a 40-minute video from a New York hospital doctor who's been doing nothing but treating people with this all day long, every day. It was very reassuring, very sound advice, not alarmist. And he said he himself isn't afraid of getting it at all, because he knows how you get it. And the main thing, number one thing above and beyond all else, is touching a person or a thing that's got the germs, and then touching your face. He says, as long as you're washing your hands and you're not touching your face, you will be, almost definitely fine, even if you're around it. He said it's the people that have prolonged contact with someone who's infected, like doctors and nurses, that are by far the most vulnerable to it. So that was really nice to hear. It's good to remember. It's ironic that with EFT we're tapping our face. People have been asking, is that okay? Well, obviously wash your hands, and if you're at home where your environment's already safe, then yes, it's okay. But you can always do a little hand gel or wash your hands before you tap. So let's do another one for just maybe financial fears. I know that's big for most of us. And it's okay. This isn't about having to have a solution. This, solutions or ideas or inspired thoughts often come in after you calm down. So that's the point of it. We're not trying to leap to figuring out, what do I do? What do I do? It's more like sitting in the discomfort and the fear of the unknown and the stress, and just being present with that while tapping is the most useful thing you can do, actually. So let's do that. So let yourself, again, just take a moment and think about whatever your situation is. And let yourself visualize whatever scares you when it comes to the situation financially. It might be an image of your bank account. It might be a bill that you don't know if you'll be able to pay. It might be thinking about work and wondering if your business is going to be okay. Whatever it is, don't be afraid to go there, even if it's pretty intense. And again, let yourself feel the feeling in your body that it brings up, any emotion it brings up, any fearful image it brings up. And just be present with that while we tap. Even though I'm really scared and nervous about my situation because I'm not making enough money. Nothing's coming in. And I don't know what's going to happen to me. I'm afraid I'm going to lose everything. I deeply and completely accept myself. I've been through hard things before, and I'm still here. Even though I'm really scared about money, and I don't know how I'm going to survive. I don't know how I'm going to make an income. Don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. And I feel this fear in my body. I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. And I don't have to figure it out right now. Top of the head. I feel scared about money. I feel that anxiety in my body. It makes me feel shaky inside. I feel like I've been irresponsible. Like I should have done more to prepare. And now I don't know what I'm going to do. My mind is scrambling for ideas. And I feel like I'm running in circles. I can't calm down. I can't calm my mind down. Keep going in different directions. Because I'm really worried about money. Afraid I'm not going to be okay. Beating myself up about it. I'm feeling sorry for myself about it. We're all in the same situation together. The whole world is dealing with this together. Everything is changing because of this. It's not just me. The world is going to have to change. We're all waking up together. Some good things could come out of this. In this moment, I'm okay. And in this moment, I'm safe. Deep breath. So that was kind of a big one. Anybody have any thoughts or feelings to share? You know, that's a subject that I think could be, you know, we could spend an hour just on that one in different ways. Tightness in shoulders or less, that's good. Yeah. Did anyone feel like it provoked more stress or anxiety or negative feelings? No? No, good. It's good. I know it can seem a little counterintuitive sometimes to people to be voicing things like this while tapping. Great. Feel better, but feel better and connected to everyone. That's great. Reinforce positive feelings. Great. Yeah. Yeah, it can seem counterintuitive to say negative things while tapping, but that's the whole point of it, is to just take what's already lurking there in your mind, the things that you're afraid to think and say, and just bring it out and speak it out while tapping. So not only is it kind of a purge, kind of a venting kind of a thing, but the tapping itself is neutralizing that, because you're saying the things that are provocative, that are triggering, and then this is turning off your fight or flight reaction. So the thought becomes less and less threatening until it just kind of floats away. And that's the whole point. And the calmer we get, I think we all kind of know this. Slight headache means do again. Yeah, let's do again. If you feel anything, even if it's similar to before but less, a lower level, just tune into whatever that stress or feeling is. If it's a new thing, like suddenly your head hurts, then just notice that. And let's tap some more. Even though I've been thinking so much and worrying so much about my situation, and it's creating all this pressure in my head too much activity in my head. I'd like to accept myself anyway. And the answer is not in my mind. My intuition can guide me. Even though I'm trying so hard to think my way through this, and I feel mentally exhausted, it's making my head hurt, making my body tense, worrying about money. I deeply and completely accept myself, and I'm learning to love myself as I am. Top of the head. Too many thoughts in my head. All these worries and fears about money. Worrying about my future. Feeling bad about myself. Frustrated. Trying to figure out the solution in my mind. It's creating all this stress and pressure in my head. It's giving me a headache. The answer is not in my head. My intuition knows everything I need to know. The calmer I get, the more intuitive I'll be. I only have to be in this moment right now. Things will come to me when I need them. I can ask for help. I'm not alone in this situation. The world needs me. This world needs people like me. In a deep breath. Tingly, good. Yeah, tingly is always good. That's a pretty common feeling to feel when you tap. Sometimes it's just relaxed. You'll feel your breath deepen sometimes, or some stress in your body will just kind of drop. Sometimes you'll notice a very definite, what you call cognitive shift. So like a really negative or fearful thought, like I was saying before, you'll go in and try to see it, and it'll actually show up differently or not be there anymore. So, and you can do the same for a person. If there's somebody in your life, even if you love them, there's someone who's driving you crazy and getting under your skin, you can visualize them, describe all your feelings of frustration and judgment and whatever you feel about them as you're visualizing them, and tap through it and take a breath and then visualize them again. And usually a more positive picture of them pops up, and you feel your love and forgiveness and good feelings about them. And that's kind of an easier one, actually, no matter what you're feeling about them. Just, that's one you could try on your own, maybe. I know we're kind of running probably out of time soon. So I'll just let you know that you can always contact me, either if you want to do sessions or if you just have a question. If you just want to do EFT on your own like this, I'm happy to always answer questions. And you can visit my website. It's called tappingcoach.com, but you have to remember there's a hyphen between tapping and coach. So tapping-coach.com. If you go there, you'll get a pop-up on that page where you can get a free little EFT tapping mini series that I've got there. The doesn't obligate you to anything. It's you just put in your email address and then you get access to it. So that's something I would recommend. It's like a total of an hour, three videos. And then if you want to email me, you can do that at santarosatherapist@gmail.com. And any questions are totally fine, or find me on Facebook and ask a question is good too. Or call me, 707-326-5566, or text me. I'm easily found. So thank you guys. I appreciate you being here early in the morning. And I have been doing more of, some of these already, some of these group tapping things, putting the word out for those. So I will very likely do more of those. So if you stay in touch with me, you'll have other opportunities to do that too, probably in the near future. All right. I guess we wrap it up there. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ben, for helping us go through the sessions and also instructing on how to do it so that we can do that at a later time by ourselves. So Sonoma Strong Healing Fair, this is our first online event, but we have held 3 previous ones. It started in 2017, right after the wildfires came through our area. And I want to invite you all to continue to see the April presenters. We have one every day, and actually 2 on April 13th and April 25th. And right now I will share with you our list of presenters. All our information is on Sonoma Strong Healing Fair Facebook page. There's 2 events, one for the 8:30 sessions and then one for the 7 o'clock sessions. So tomorrow we have Linda Mechner. She's going to be talking about nutrition and taking some questions of yours. And then the next will be Sue Wilhite, using tuning forks to help shift our energies and help shift our emotions and things like that. This shows the rest of our schedule for the end of April. And like I said, all this information is on the Sonoma Strong Healing Fair Facebook page. So Sherry and I are co-founders of the Sonoma Strong Healing Fair. I am Diana Borges. And this is our contact information. We have a website, sonomastronghealingfair.com. If you want to contact us, it's info@Sonoma Strong Healing Fair. And I'm not going to read it, but you can see what our mission is. And it's to help and educate the people on alternative and holistic choices so that they can bring different methods and change perspectives of a new lifestyle. So if you have any questions about Sonoma Strong Healing Fair or Sherry and I, like I said, you can just contact us at info@Sonoma Strong Healing Fair or post on our Sonoma Strong Healing Fair Facebook page. And we invite you to invite other people to this. We have a wide variety of presenters coming up, and all the way from intuitive drawing, healing sessions, doctors presenting information about COVID, and taking care of your gut. So I thank you, everyone, and I hope you stay safe, healthy, and you stay connected to the truth. And that is where we are going to be, living in our truth and evolving into this new world where it's a new normal. Take care. Thank you.